All right, I'm kicking this live stream off a few minutes early, and that's because I need to do a couple checks really quick. So if you're on the live stream, you can leave comments and you can ask questions in the comments, and I can actually show that comment on the screen and answer your question, and I'm going to do that after I show the new CartFlows Split Testing feature that I'm so thrilled about. So we're going to go over that. That's the main purpose of this live stream. Now, if you're watching this live stream and it's not live, meaning it's after the live stream has already aired, don't worry. You don't have to sit through parts of it that don't interest you. At the end of this live stream, I'll be adding a full table of contents in the video description, which will allow you to jump to the part that you want to get to. So right now is just kind of the beginning of the live stream. You can just skip through to this and get straight to the feature overview, the Q&A, whatever makes sense for you. So I already actually see a comment here, which is awesome. Hey, Kevin. Good morning, and actually it is morning for me. I'm still working on my coffee. Actually, ironically, this is like, I guess, a product placement. This is a mug for Lifter LMS, and they sent that to me a few years back. I like mugs, so if you're a product company, you can send me a mug, and maybe it'll end up in a live stream. So I don't really do many live streams here. I think I want to change that. I do regular live streams on my YouTube channel, wpcrafter.com. As a matter of fact, not yesterday, but the day before, I did 2 live streams, and they were about an hour and a half each, and so my voice was shot after that. So I'm going to do a just a quick check here and there. I just need to check in the CartFlows Facebook group, and then we'll go over this feature. Feel free to start lining up any questions that you might have. So let's see here. I'm going to move this over here, and I'll be with you in a moment. You can ask questions about anything. You know me, I'm very transparent. So you can talk. We can ask questions about this new feature. Okay, good. So this is good. And then let me just check the live stream. I'm assuming everything's working fine with that. All right. Let me close this window and let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Luis. What is going on? Sorry that I have to look over here. My setup is not super reliable. I have a little display that I put underneath my camera so I could look at it and always be looking this way, but unfortunately it's not the most reliable, so I have to look right here at the list of comments to show them on the screen. Keyword management. I wonder what your real name is. Keyword management's cool. So Mr. Keyword Management, yes, that's a yes to your question. And actually, I'm going to do a split test on the CartFlows checkout where some traffic's going to get offered the lifetime license, and alongside of we're going to use the product features options in CartFlows where there's the annual and then there's the lifetime. So I'm going to use that and split test using that product selection and see how that works out. So that will be a fun split test that we're going to actually do internally here. All right. Well, let's just get this live stream kicked off. All right. Well, today's a great day. We're so excited on behalf of the entire CartFlows team. We are launching CartFlows Split Testing, and it's finally been pushed out today. So if you see an update today, it's CartFlows Split Testing, and it's ready for you. This is the result of hundreds of hours in research and development and testing as well to make not only what I think is the best split testing tool out there, but the most easiest and well thought out one to use. And you're going to see in this video how easy it is to split test anything using CartFlows Split Testing. Now, when we come out with a new feature, a big new feature, usually I'm the guy that goes out and subscribes to every single existing solution, and I evaluate them, and I try to figure out what they do right and what they do wrong and how we should implement it. And that is how these products really get made, where other products, they just make something without a ton of thought going into it, and it tends to be something that is very difficult to use. Now, I'll tell you that the highest priority for me, especially here and the entire CartFlows team, is to make our features extremely easy to use. And that's always the direction that we're going. In fact, a little teaser, we have a big update coming out next month that's going to make CartFlows unbelievably easy to use. And I haven't revealed what this is and what that means, but it's going to be big and it's going to make a lot of people very happy. But we're not here to talk about that. I'm just laying the groundwork for that. We're here to talk about split testing. So when I evaluated all the various split testing tools on the market, whether most of them are software as a service, so you have like Google Optimize where they allow you to do 3 different tests. But with Google Optimize, there's a lot of complicated terminology and settings and options when you just want to run a split test. But Google Optimize ultimately wasn't the solution that we needed. We needed a solution to split test steps inside of a flow. So we knew we had to make our own tool. And every tool that I evaluated were either very expensive, and that's okay, but we're talking $300 to $500 per month. And we didn't want our customers to have to pay that. We wanted to build our own. And they would all have this serious level of complexity. You know, you're talking about all these different industry terms and acronyms and all of that. The average person that just wants a split test, it's so dang complicated. So we knew that we could do better. We knew that we could be like Apple. You know how Apple makes these devices? They don't have to talk about the specs and all these complicated things in the back. It's just very simple to use. And that's why people end up loving their products. So we want to kind of be guided by that same vision. Enough talking about the split testing feature. I'm going to demonstrate it here and line up your questions. And I'm going to be happy to answer them. So, and I warn you, I haven't done many live streams lately, so there might be a little quirk or bug here or there in what I'm doing. And every time to time, I need to take a water break. It's morning for me. I tend to wake up a little dehydrated. All right, here we go. And let's see, I'm just making sure everything's good. Awesome. Okay, so here's a site that has the latest update to CartFlows on it. So when I go into CartFlows, you're first going to notice, and this is going to be for CartFlows Core and CartFlows Pro users, we changed things around a little bit. So now we have a home tab, and there's not much going on here yet. This is our plans for later this year to do some really cool things with the home tab. This was not here before. And then we have our flows, and then we have our settings. So we've switched it up just a little bit. Side note, today my task is to change this getting started video to update it, since we've made a lot of changes and improvements to make it easier to use CartFlows. Okay, so here's a list of my flows. I will go into this email marketing flow right here. And so we have our flow steps. And the first one for here is a lead gen page. Actually, it's right here. And then we have our checkout, and then we have our thank you page. You're probably not going to want to be split testing a thank you page, but you can split test anything you want. So the other change is we used to have more options that would list right here, and we've can collapse them into this pop-up option right here, because when we were going to add split testing, then it would have gotten a little too cluttered. So to start a new split test is extremely easy. On any step, you click the 3 dots, you click on A/B split test, you get this confirmation. And the reason it's just verifying that this is what you want to do is because it's going to make a duplicate of this step. So I'll click on OK. It's making the duplicate, and there you see now we have the original version, and then we have this alternative version, but it hasn't been changed yet. You still got to go in there and change what you want to change to set up what you're actually going to be split testing. And since we're split testing the entire step, everything in it is split testable. Okay, so the next step would be to go in to that other variation and change something. You can change maybe a headline and see if one headline gets someone to move forward more than another headline. Or maybe it could be a color. Or if it's a checkout step, maybe it's a price. Or maybe it's some of the checkout fields. Or maybe like a split test we're going to be running is using the featured options there and having some product option boxes. You can split test pricing. You can split test pretty much anything you want, including the order bump. So, all right, so you'd want to go in there. Now, what's nice is you can also have more than one split test variation. So right here we have our original and we have this one variation, but we can have as many variations as we want. I would recommend, unless you're an experienced split tester, don't split test too many variations. I would start with just one. And also don't make too many changes on that split test, because if I change the headline and some colors and the new version converted better than the old version, how would I know if it's the headline or the colors? So you want to split test one thing at a time and give it enough time to get some data. All right, so here we have our two variations. Now CartFlows is automatically going to split the traffic up between these two steps. So when someone visits the step, CartFlows is going to add a cookie to their computer. And so if they ever come back like in a week and you're still running that split test, they're going to see the same version that they originally saw. Okay, so then there's this little settings icon here, and when you click on it, you can choose how you want the traffic split. So if you didn't want to run half to one page and half to the other page, you can change it with these dials very easily right here. All right, so this is all kind of typical split testing stuff. And then when you're ready to start the test, this test hasn't started yet, you'd go here, you'd click on Start Split Test, and now you can see in red, it says Stop Split Test, and that's how we would stop this split test. And so you will want to run traffic to your flow as you normally would, and you could come here and click on View Analytics, and you could see this is the step right here that I'm split testing. And when I click on it right here, you could see I have the two different variations right here. And so this is going to calculate total visits, unique visits, conversions, and then a conversion rate. So that would probably bring up the question, what is a conversion? How do you calculate a conversion? To keep things simple, other split testing tools, your variations are all over the place. How you calculate a conversion is having to take little scripts that you insert on different places. And we wanted to make it point and click easy. You don't have to do any of that. We consider a conversion moving forward to the next step. And everything happens automatically. Did you see how easy it was to start a split test and see the analytics? Go ahead and try any other split testing tool. They're all overly complicated. Nothing is as simple as this. And this is everything that you need to run split tests to increase the conversions and sales on your website, which is everything that CartFlows is about. All right, so a conversion is just moving to the next step. Now, there's alternative sales funnel platforms, SaaSes. Let's just say it, ClickFunnels. The negative of the way ClickFunnels does it is it's not just moving forward. There's more requirements to it. So, for example, if you're on ClickFunnels and there is an email opt-in landing page, right? Well, the conversion is if someone fills out their name and email. That's not the way it is with CartFlows. It could be anything as long as they get to the next step. You can use your own form tool if you wanted, and then have the next step be the redirect. It could be anything. As long as they make it to the next step and move deeper down in your funnel, that is going to be considered a conversion. So that is how conversions are calculated, and that's why you didn't see anything complicated happen, because we do it all for you behind the scenes to make it drop dead simple for you to use. I'm very proud about this. A lot of thought and testing went into this. Now, when you're done, you could go here and click on Stop Split Test, and you can see now the text turns to green. And then you would want to look at your analytics to decide which one you want to have be a winner. And then you would go to that variation, say it's this variation right here. I want that to be the winner. On the drop-down options, there's an option right here that says Declare Winner. When you click on Declare Winner, it confirms, because what it's going to do is all the other variations, it's going to archive them. I'll click on OK, and you can see everything looks normal. Now, when I go into my analytics, you can see there's still that dot there next to it, and I can still click on it and it will expand it out. This is because we have to keep the analytics of all of your variations that you've had in the past. We have to keep those so that the data matches up. But there's a tiny note down here, be hard to see maybe in the live stream, and it says archived, and it has the archive date. You could actually retrieve this at a later date if you wanted to switch it up or test it again. So, but we collapse it all right there, and this will be the total of all the numbers. Okay, so now what is interesting, if I'm ever to run another split test on the same step, I will see all of my archived steps. So let me just make a new split test. I'll go here, click the three dots, click on A/B split test, confirm it with the OK. My variation is going to be made, and you can see right here it says archived steps. When I click on this, it'll show me a list of my archived steps. At this point, I can restore them or permanently delete them. However, if you permanently delete an archived step, don't worry, the data stays. We have to keep the data or the data will be wrong. The ultimate data of your funnel. And we don't want an issue there. So you'll see them in the archived steps. Now you can split test any of our steps. And because of that, you can split test any aspect. Pricing. So for example, when I go into this checkout step right here, and we go to the options, we have a ton of options here. So for example, when I go to select product, we can apply a coupon. So maybe there's a lower price in one of them than the other, one variation in the other. You can literally split test to your heart's content to figure out what converts better for you. And I gotta say that I am extremely proud of how easy everything is that I just showed you. We gave this and we worked with people that are very experienced in running split tests with other tools, and we engaged them through the beta process, and they gave us amazing feedback. But I'll tell you that there is no tool that is this simple to use. I have tested them all because I did that in the product research, and I'm sure you can agree, this makes split testing achievable for anyone. It's literally just a few mouse clicks. All the terminology, all the complicated scripts, and it's all just done for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. CartFlows is doing it for you in CartFlows Split Testing. So I might have left out something, and it might have left you with a question. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the comments and see what questions there are about this. Actually, I should do that in a moment. I just want to touch on one other enhancement to the free version of CartFlows that was released today. And then we'll get to your questions about split testing. And one of them might be, can you split test entire flows? I'll have to address all of that. There's one other update that you might have seen earlier in 2020. We added a lead generation step where you can have an email opt-in form. And there was problems with it. And it wasn't a problem that it was some kind of a coding error, but there was a problem with the way that WooCommerce worked by default. The way WooCommerce works by default is if someone comes to your lead generation page and puts in their name and email, but they've already they maybe ordered in the past or opted into something in the past. So basically there's already an account there in WooCommerce. It would give them this notice that they have to log in and with their account. And so it really made for a lot of friction and confusion, and it really made the feature as not as useful as it is. Well, I asked our development team, this is how WooCommerce works by default. Can we change it? And they said, we'll look into it, and they figured it out. And so now, if you're using the lead gen step and someone already has an account, it's going to work just like a normal opt-in. They won't get presented with any confusing messages. It's just going to work as expected. Now, what you usually do is this puts the data inside of your website, but you might want it in your email marketing tool. Well, most email marketing tools have native WooCommerce integrations. For example, MailerLite, MailChimp, all of them. All you have to do is search the name of the email marketing tool and type WordPress or WooCommerce or WordPress, and most of them have official plugins for a full integration. So we got this one set. All right, so that actually, it probably would have been better if I was showing the screen as I explained that. Oh well, here's the screen I was looking at. I told you I'm gonna be a little bit of rusty on the live stream, but here's what I was talking about right here, the lead gen step, and some of you guys are probably familiar with that. So my apologies there. I knew I'd be rusty, but that's all right. You know, it is what it is. Okay, so now I'm going to go through some of the comments and answer any questions that you have about CartFlows split testing. And I'm a pretty transparent guy. I like to answer whatever comes my way. But if it's something about a future feature, I'll have to be a little vague. All right. Okay, so I answered this question at the beginning that we're going to run a split test on the CartFlows checkout where when someone gets there, they have a product option box for the annual or for the lifetime, and we're going to see how that converts. It'll be kind of fun. Let's see. Awesome, you updated today. Yep, thank you. And you know, WordPress 5.5 allows you to enable auto updates. You can do that for CartFlows Core, the free version, but CartFlows Pro, we need to add that as an option. Let's see. Luis, okay. So this might have been before I was talking about it. I get asked about my gear all the time. This is the little keyboard that you're probably referring to. It's called a Elgato Stream Deck, and it's got all these buttons, and you can make the buttons do anything that you want to do. And I love it. It's a productivity tool. You can have it type in text for you. So I actually have my logins to websites, so I can just go to the website and I push a button and it will log in for me. I have it do so many different things. Hey Dex, welcome from the Netherlands. Evening for you, morning for me. Yes, split test ABC easy for sure. Yes, I'm not sure if you're talking about the split testing feature, but I think I'm just so proud of what we were able to accomplish with it, and it's really about the ease of use. Here's a great question. Can we choose when the cookie expires? No, not that I'm aware of, but if you email our developer team, there might be a filter that they've created for it. Full disclosure, and for those of you that are familiar with me, I ain't a developer, but I can understand and communicate with our dev team, of course, and a lot of the ideas that get turned into what CartFlows is today come from me. But that's a great question right here about when the cookie will expire, and what we could do is ask them, and maybe there's a filter, or they can add a filter to that so that you can control it. Okay. Can you point us to any videos or tutorials for lead gen? I'd like to do some split tests this week. So actually, it's so easy. I don't need to point you to a tutorial, but we did have a tutorial on it. And this is in the free version of CartFlows. So let me just go here really quick and I'll show you. If you have an existing flow set up and you click on add a step, so maybe it's a flow that doesn't have a lead gen step, you would click on add a step, and then right here it says, let's see, where are you? Opt-in. We should actually reorder that. We're actually redesigning all of this, by the way. So that would be later the year. So we have these email opt-in templates here ready for you. And it's really just the same thing. You drop in the CartFlows short code. Maybe you won't have to do that in the future, but for now you do. And it'll now have the email opt-ins. So that's for the free version. It will add and you can also change the button text, by the way. We actually had to move where the button text is on that. So let's see. Here is an opt-in step. Let me show you the settings for that down here. So right here, first step would be to add a free product. It has to be a free product. And so it's an email opt-in for like giving a lead magnet away. So we have a free product right here. We have the design options right here. And then that's where it says submit button. You can change the text of that button. This is all in the free version of CartFlows, by the way. But if you use Pro, we've enabled the form fields where you can add custom fields, you can hide fields, and you can rearrange fields. But this is CartFlows Pro, the field control editor. So that is that feature of ours. And I think it's way more practical now that we've made this adjustment to the code, the default way that WooCommerce works. And we're also open to ideas to make it do other things. Nadler, can I build a one-page funnel including paying with CartFlows? Absolutely. All you need to do is create a checkout step, and in the design, make it your sales page, and then have the checkout form at the bottom. You could do all of that with the core version of CartFlows. As a matter of fact, I know we get asked this a lot. I should really take the time to put a short, brief tutorial on how to do it because it's insanely easy to do. All right. Very well thought out. Great job. Thank you. We just want things to be easy. We're moving towards every aspect of CartFlows, simplifying it, beautifying it, revamping it. Yes, the archive feature is awesome. We didn't actually have that when we had the first beta, but I was insistent upon someone might want to access it later. And so we needed that. Best news of the world. Today is a happy day. Yeah, split testing is going to save people money. It's better this way. We needed our own solution. And if you are a CartFlows subscriber, you don't have to pay for anything. There's no upgraded version, separate plugin or anything. It's like a huge value add. And we love doing that. We love delivering on it. For existing members, how can we get access to a lifetime license? You can email our support desk and ask if you could be upgraded to it, and then they'll tell you how to submit a payment. Is there a way to export the data like on an XLS? So if you're what data? Is it the CartFlows analytics? Because you already have WooCommerce and WooCommerce reporting for your sales. Are you talking about the CartFlows data? If that's the case, we don't have that right now. But if we get enough people requesting it, we can consider adding it, because what a phase that we're entering, not next month, but in September, marching through the end of the year, is dashboards and analytics. We want to have the most butt-kicking, amazing, eye candy, you're going to drool over it, dashboards and analytics, and that might be part of it. Let's see. Okay, for GDPR in Europe, great question about the cookies. Can you add on the documentation how to call the cookies so that it can be added to the cookie policy? I'll make a note of this, and thank you for bringing it up. And yes, absolutely, we want to help people be compliant. Gotcha, the split testing. Oh, the split testing data. So no, we don't have an export function. However, it might be a good idea for us to have an export function as we're looking at revamping our dashboards and our analytics to make it amazing. I don't see why that would be hard at all. Maybe a CSV that you can open up inside of Excel or Numbers or Google Sheets. All right, and wow. So this is going to be the end of the live stream right now. We went over the new feature, and and here's confirmation that split testing data export would be a good idea. See, that's why I'm actually glad we're doing this live stream, because we are building the product for you. We are also building it for us and our own needs, but ultimately we want to make what our users want and what they find useful, as long as it doesn't complicate things. It's something like exporting of data doesn't complicate anything. So we want to keep things ultimately very simple and easy to use so anyone can wrap their head around CartFlows. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on the live stream. I think I'll do this for the big features as they're released, and it gives people an opportunity to come and ask questions, and I'm more than happy to answer any question that you have. Give CartFlows Split Testing a try when you are in your circles of friends, whether it be on the internet or wherever. Please make sure that you suggest people try CartFlows. It's the #1 most used sales funnel building tool on the internet for a reason, and it's because of people like you that have shown us the love and have supported us every step of the way. Thanks for joining me on the live stream today, and we'll see you next month when we release our next big feature, and I'm pretty excited. I'm surprised you guys didn't even ask me what's coming next, but that's all right. You didn't ask, and I'm not going to answer, but all I could say is I'm very excited about it, and I know you will be too. Thanks for watching.